Hey, Wes, it looks like you're the only person here. Can you hear me? Because I can see your chats. Talk to me. So I'm getting Facebook up and going. What's up, everyone? So, Danny, stuff I kind of care about. Uh, hey to Wes. Hey to Batcase 270. You're talking as well. Um, I'm doing some bookbinding today. Hopefully, everything goes appropriately. It's what I'd love to have happen. So, I have a couple of questions for anybody that's watching. Um, I kind of want this to be a little interactive. Uh oh. You shouldn't be making noise. There we go. That's better. So, still trying to iron out all the wrinkles for this. Is my audio too loud? If it is, I can deal with that. Let me know in the comments what's happening. I'm going to point over there, but I really mean down below. So, interactive speaking. I'm looking at making a journal. Should I make one this size or this size? Go ahead and shoot me a comment. Let me know if you want to see the larger one or the smaller one. They're both going to be done the same style, but I just want to uh, let you folks decide if we're doing a larger or smaller one. I know that you're a little bit behind me time wise. I think there's like a 20 or 30-second lag. So um, I'm going to explain a few things about what's going on with paper while we wait for the video to catch up. First and foremost, this would be the paper for the smaller one. It would end up being like this. So there's a lot of extra going on there. The paper for the larger one is this size. So it would end up like this. It's really difficult to see, but there's about half an inch of space on all the edges. So the question is, which one do we do? Wes says to start with the small one. Okay. I guess we're going to start with the small one. And I will put the large one away from me to the side. While I'm doing this, I'm going to be also looking at the leather that I'm going to be using. So I have options for everyone. And we're going to switch this over. Here we go. So this is overhead view. So I'm looking at maybe using this leather here. It's pretty cool, pretty fun. It's nice and supple. It's got a really good pull up. So you can see where the wax is impregnated in the leather. I can use a black leather. I've got this like lighter brown and then this darker brown. And I want you folks watching at home to help me pick out which one of these I'm going to be using. I don't need that piece. For everybody that's not used to my videos, I have a scrap leather bin right over there. Thank you for your vote of confidence, Wes. I really appreciate that. Just in case you F it up. You jerk. This is going to be interesting. I can get rid of my YouTube and Facebook pages. And I should be able to turn this on. get myself a little bit of volume back just so that I can hear if you guys talk to me. BatK270, you say the dark brown. You're saying this one on top, or Wes likes this leather that I showed first. So we're going to get rid of the black and the lighter brown and let the two of you battle to the death. This is right hand, this is left hand. So figure out which one you want. And while you're discussing that, I'm going to start working on some of these pages. And we'll come back to leather. Since we're doing this small one, I'm going to get my paper cutter and go ahead and finish up this last signature. I just wanted to show everybody how exactly I'm doing everything. So I'm literally just taking an 8.5 by 11 page, cutting it in half, and then I'm taking a stack of those and I'm going to fold them up and make these signatures, which is what a group of pages together. Okay, well, look at you guys getting along in the chat. I like it. Let's use, I'm going to use this reddish one just because I already have a straight edge here and it's going to be way easier to deal with. So that's going to be super awesome. So basically the name of the game with these is just fold them. And then you'll just join them all together or group them together into a signature. And then those signatures will get the holes punched in them. And then we can start working with leather. So BatK270 just doesn't like the light brown or black. I actually agree with you. So that shows me that you are a person of taste and culture. Also, let me know if the chat's showing up on the screen or not. That is kind of important for me. Because I'm here, but I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't need this mini feed. Whatever. I'm just going to keep doing things. Okay, you see the chat really small. Are you on your phone, Wes? Because if you are, then that may make some sense. Oh yeah. Yay! It is showing up. That's fantastic news. Also, thank you for being here with me and hanging out with me on this gorgeous Thursday evening. I'm just gonna be here doing weird stuff. So once we have all these pages folded, we're just gonna do a little bit of pressure right there just to make sure that they're not going anywhere. And then we're just gonna group them inside of each other. And this is 10 pages, or 10 pieces of paper. So that means it's 20 sheets and 40 pages. Because a sheet is one of these, and a page is this and this. So, this is all together. I already have 3 of these done. I'm not going to make you sit through watching me do all the signatures. So, those are going to stay over there. I'm going to measure this out. And I'm going to punch it really quick. And what I'm doing is I'm just moving in a ½ inch from the outside and then an extra inch from there. And we'll see what happens. People are commenting on my Facebook stuff and I don't want to check it because, well, that would be rude. Oh, man. Hooray. I know I should probably have music going, shouldn't I? This is going to be like super boring. listening to me ramble on the whole time. So I think it's pretty clear what I'm doing right now. Just punching holes. And those holes are going to be used later for sewing all of this together. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that. Wow. I'm obviously great at this. Alright, that pencil is going to live there. I'm going to use this leather. Sweet. Hey, chat. What's up? Also, ask all the questions that you want to in the chat down below. I really want to communicate as much as possible. I don't know a ton about a lot of this stuff. I just kind of make it up as I go, but I'm trying. So, I've lined up my straight edge on this leather, and I'm just going to cut out a 1/2 inch rip of this, because I'm going to be using 1/2 inch strips to bind this together. And I'm going to do one more 1/2 inch rip. And we're going to call that a day. So this can go play elsewhere. And now all I have to do is figure out how long I want these to be. I'm probably going to end up cutting them down a little bit, to be honest with you. But I think 3 inches is going to be a happy length. I think 3 inches might even be a little bit too much. Yeah, I would love to have death metal in the background. If you have any that isn't going to get me in copyright trouble that I can listen to, which boy no. For reference, this is about 5 ounce leather that I'm using. This is Acacia leather. So it is, I think it's chrome tan and waxed. So it's really fun to work with. I've been absolutely enjoying having it around. And no, I'm not doing this perfectly precise. I do like having a little bit of alliteration in my videos. So, I've got these 3 inch cuts. Very rough. And then I'm just going to take the corners off and give them a little bit of a treatment like that. I'm not going to use an edger on this because I actually like the look of this leather the way that it is, and I've used this leather before, and unless I'm doing a bigger piece where I really want to have a slimmer edge for joining or something, I'm not as much of a fan of the way this looks edged. Yay! Man, I should just find some, like, non-copyrighted classical music that I can play in the background. Because while I would love death metal, I just need music at some point. But we learn and we grow and we try to become better at what we do, right? It's not like Rome was built in a day. Huzzah. Also, this is really weird for me. I'm not used to having to talk to people while I work. So, apologies if I'm not the most communicative at the moment. all I'm doing right now is lining out a center point. I have to have 2 points. I could do 4 points for this, but I'm going to do 2 points, 2 punches for this. And so I'm just laying out my center point, and then I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch in either direction. And probably call it a day with that. So, one thing you have to think about is how these are going to stack together. And so it looks like I'm going to need about 1/4 inch between the holes, because the holes are going to be centered between 2 signatures, because I'm binding 2 signatures per hole. I'm just doing a simple saddle stitch. So I have to look at, once it's pressed together like this, it looks like it'll be about 1/4 inch. So if I move 1/8 of an inch on either side of this, it should be what I need. And if it isn't, I'll pretend that it is. And that's how that's done. And then I'm going to take these and I'm going to punch them with my leather punch. And try to not use too many hammered tools tonight, just because hammers tend to get really loud on a live stream. So that's that. All right. Also, if you're interested in having one of these journals, let me know, because I'm probably going to be doing a giveaway before too long. I might do another live stream and make a journal and decide to give the journal away to somebody that's watching the live stream. I don't know. The world is my oyster. That's one. That's two. All right. All 4 of them are done. This punch is going to be needed later. What I want to do is kind of size this up and just see in general how it's going to be. Okay, so that's eventually what it's going to end up looking like. There's going to be some saddle stitch binding across the back, but I'm not mad about how long they are. So that's really good news. So we can set those covers to the side and start sewing. So I'm doing a simple saddle stitch. One thing when you're binding books that I do want to talk about is you always want to keep them in the same order. And so when you fold them up and you stack them, once you've punched all your holes, you want to keep them in the same order that you lined out your holes and everything in. And so I'm going to work with this one. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to sew into this hole like this. And then the next one is going to come right here. And we're just going to keep working like that. So it'll be super simple and straightforward. And it's going to look very sloppy at the beginning, because these things don't tend to want to behave themselves until you've got two signatures together. But we'll see if we can make it work. So, oh no, go away. So, and the one thing that you want to make sure of at this point is that these are faced properly, because they'll want to come undone on you. And you got to remember that when you lay it down like this with the back away from you, you want your extra hole pointing away from you. So, like that. And for a saddle stitch, you want to just leave a little bit here because we're going to end up tying these together. But that's the two of these. Now I'm going to leave a little bit of pressure on that line with my thumb right there. And we're just going to come right out here. Pick this one up. And go right in. And then we're coming back out through this hole that we went in earlier. And just through the same hole. Just want to kind of pull it snug. We're going to come in here. And then we can just trim off this line. And then kind of pull these a little bit snug, but they don't have to be like, you know, yanked upon. Freestockmusic.com. Ooh, BatK270. You are saving my life right now. Thank you. I'm absolutely going to look into that. First live stream. I'm not a pro at this at all. I will hopefully learn more as I go along. Live streaming stuff, making stuff, and doing stuff like this is something that I've wanted to do for a while. And so if you're digging it, let me know. And if you're not, I'm sorry. I'll be producing the other type of videos as well. So now this one is going to go through the same hole that that first one was bound through. Because remember, we have two holes, but we have... Oh no. Make sure not to pull your tail through like I almost did. So we've got two holes on the leather, but we've got 4 signatures to bind through. So we're going to do this, a little bit of this, and a little bit of this. And I'm hoping this turns out the way that I want it to. And if it doesn't, I can cut it apart and start again. Okay, so again, you're just going back out the same holes. And one of the reasons I like using this artificial sinew is it's just a bunch of strands. And so it doesn't really get super mad at you if you go through itself. It's not like, you know, like a woven string. It has a little bit more forgiveness than a normal string does. And I'll get rid of that tail, and I'll move on to my second needle and sinew, which I have loaded up already. Because I prepared. I didn't prepare for a lot of other stuff, but golly gee, I prepared for that, right? So, I am going to come back and trim all those ends in a little while. But for now, I just kind of want them to hang out. Relax. So, this is what the spine's looking like. As you work, these end pieces are going to shift towards the center. The only reason that's not convenient is for sewing sakes. But it's super fun getting them in place and then binding it to this, because once they're bound to this, they'll stay in the right place, which is awesome. So, huzzah. We're going to grab our next needle and sinew. And we're just going to keep on trucking. Oh no. This one doesn't want to behave itself. And again, just going right back through these holes. And what I'm doing here is just kind of pulling out some of the slack. And you do want to pull on both ends. It's helpful. And then just doing a simple knot there. These signatures don't have to be the most like firmly attached things I've ever done, because thankfully the sinew likes to grab onto itself. It doesn't really want to get away from you, which is convenient. All right. Cooperate. Huzzah. Really? Come on. You're just being a little jerk today, aren't you, Leather? Trying to make me look bad live on YouTube. It's okay. I can do that myself. Sweet. And needles are out of the way. All right. So this is how we're doing this one. Huzzah. And I'm just going to come back through and trim all of these slightly shorter. I just want to say a huge thank you to anyone watching this right now for putting up with my ridiculousness. I know this isn't like crazy cool stuff that I'm doing. It's just, you know, stuff I'm into. But I appreciate you coming along for the ride. All right. And there you have it. A small little piece. Yeah, this one's actually going to look really cool. One of the next projects that I want to do is start doing this with wood for the covers as well, and just see how that goes. So, I know that I have this set to the right size for my posts, for my rivets. So what I'm going to do is just kind of guesstimate where these holes are going. This is gonna look so handmade. my hands could stop shaking this much, that would be fantastic. Huzzah. Alright, those are punched. Now comes one of the only parts of this video that is, like, somewhat unique. My freezer is yelling at me. So now we have to get this to attach to this. And to do that, what we're going to do is just kind of eyeball it. Why not? So I've got it like this. I'm literally just going to take these, make sure they're all the way to the edge. And then one by one, I'm just going to go down the line and just mark out where these live. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing there. So I've got those 4 holes. And importantly, I set this down so that the side that I'm affixing to this is up. That is rather important. And then I'm just going to punch these. Cool. I had one that didn't go quite all the way through. It did. It just didn't come out. Sweet. So, I have my anvil and my press. So what we're going to do is push these through here. And these are not like super heavy duty rivets. These are kind of the dumbed down version of that. But we do want the not as pretty side on the inside of the cover. And then we're just going to attach these and hope by the power of Grayskull that this will work. Okay. You can't really see what I'm doing on this camera. I'm going to adjust it a baby bit. Alright, so I'm hanging this off the edge of the table so that the body of the book hangs down. Just so that I can get a good press all around these. And then press on these caps. And you'll notice that that isn't straight at all. I'm not super mad about it. Alright, I'm going to mute this for 2 seconds because this is about to get really loud. Alright, it's not going as planned. I'm going to go off camera and hammer these in really quick. just so that it doesn't take forever and is super loud. I'm back. Sorry about all that noise. But that's one side of the cover attached. And it's pretty crooked. Yay, I'm super good at this. I'm not. I'm not good at this. I'm garbage. Just straight garbage. I'm just lining up these like I did the first ones. And we're going to punch these out again. Oh. There we go. Punched. And now I can use the last of these. Yo, what up, Mike? Thanks for stopping by, man. I'm glad that you think it looks great. That makes one of us that's very happy about it. I've never done a live stream before, so I have no clue what I'm doing. So, hopefully it's not terrible. Alright, so all four of those are attached. I'm going to jump off camera for 2 seconds, hammer them in, and I'll be right back. Boom! So, that's that. Really simple book. I feel like I'm decently happy with it. These could be a lot straighter. As you can see, the second set of them definitely looks better, although this one's not perfect. I was using like the steel colored rivets, and I much prefer these little brass plated ones. Oh, thank you. Thank you for saying that it's going way better than terrible. Bat K270, you've been here since the beginning. You make my heart warm. So that's this. Cover is canvas boards, so it's actually paintable. And then there's all these little pages on the inside. And I actually really like how it like almost free hangs when it's open. It allows you to really get in here and take a look at your pages. And it still looks pretty interesting. I'm still trying to find canvas boards that are sized properly for this. That's kind of a pain. That's why I want to switch over to some wood stuff. Hopefully that'll work. But, man, I'm happy with it. And that only took 40 minutes. Sweet. Alright, so I'm going to sign it. Because I sign every journal that I make. Because that's just a thing that I do. And that's that. Hooray! I'm excited. Alright. Now I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do with this thing. I'm gonna wrap up the stream. Thank you so much for hanging out. This has actually been a ton of fun. I'm enjoying myself. I'm probably gonna start live streaming like once a month. Why not? The journal was somewhat successful. If you notice, I very cleverly put the worst part of it on the back. That's what I do. The front of it, I'm not mad about it. But we'll see what happens with it. If one of you wants this thing, feel free to speak up, and we will probably try to just get it to you, because I don't use a ton of journals, I just make a lot of them. Thank you for stopping by. I'm gonna go continue to do dumb stuff. Catch you nerds later.